So I've had less time to record videos of late because I've been doing more podcasts and because my time is a lot more scheduled than it's probably ever been. So I'm expected to do things that in the past, I didn't have that expectation. Accountability makes a massive difference. If you don't have accountability in your life, you're just not gonna accomplish your dreams. So forget about your dreams, forget about everything that matters to you if you are unwilling to say what matters to you. If you're unwilling to tell the people in your life, the people that are around you, the things that you want to get done, you will not get them done. In some capacity, you need to have someone holding you accountable. How do you do that? How do you get outside of yourself and believe in yourself and say, okay, dude, I'm gonna go to the moon. Okay, I'm gonna build a freaking skyscraper. I'm going to change how this community deals with poverty. I'm going to change how we deal with trash in the neighborhood. How do you commit to something like that? Well, my biggest piece of advice on that is, even if you half believe it, if you got to the point where you convince yourself that it's half important, that half your soul's in it, tell someone, tell your friends. Be like, I want to go and change this trash situation. I want to build a freaking skyscraper. And if you have spent the time and energy to create an environment around you that's actually supportive, meaning people that are around you that are like, dude, you can do whatever the hell you want, because I can do whatever the hell I want. I went to the gym every single day for 2 years and now I'm jacked. See, we can do whatever we want. If you have spent the time to make that environment, my friend, anything that you plug into that environment will necessarily have a higher chance of becoming true. Have a higher chance of taking that energy and mobilizing, becoming a reality in your life. Okay, so accountability is freaking massive. And I assume the only reason you're watching this channel is because you're a leader in some capacity, or a part of your identity is being a leader. You have a responsibility, my friend, as a leader, that you must continue to grow as a person. You must do this for yourself, or you cannot do it for anyone that follows you or takes direction from you. And what that means is that the accountability thing, telling your staff that, hey, in 6 months, we're gonna open another practice, telling your spouse or telling your siblings that, hey, every day I'm gonna work out, and then sending them a picture. Doing these things is the difference between the person that just hopes these things happen and the person that makes them happen. Yeah, accountability is pretty big. When did I discover this? I discovered this really in dental school, more so than anything else, because I was actually working on legitimate projects that I was excited about. I was about to put up a mural in downtown Philadelphia, North Philadelphia. In fact, it still kind of exists, the remains of what I created. I spent months and months, and when I was way less productive in life, months coming up with and drawing out this mural, freaking massive mural. Imagine one side of a soccer field. That's how big that mural was, and 15 to 20 feet tall. And I designed the crap out of it. And then right at the end, when I was about to paint the thing, the person that was in charge of the mural, or making it happen, was like, dude, you're not even putting in any work. I was like, I want the students to come through and help me paint it, otherwise I can't make it look like what I want. Anyway, they belittled me, and I was like, you know what, take the designs, do whatever the fuck you want with it. I don't need this. But the entire time that I was doing it, I was showing those pictures to my friends. I was showing those pictures to people that mattered to me. I was showing up to the meetings with the people organizing it. I was, and I gave them essentially a completed product. I did a design for a massive mural in Philadelphia, which is pretty cool. But the reason that I learned the accountability thing was my friends would be in the library studying, and I would be out doing community organizing. Right? My friends would be, watching sports on Sunday, and I'd be creating things, or going on a walk in the woods. And most of the time that I had to myself, heavily influenced by some of the things that I was saying to other people. So I think words are indeed magic. And I think it's very important to take into account how powerful just telling someone that you're going to do something is. I have a friend, actually, Matt Kelly, who purposefully doesn't tell people the things that he's gonna get done, because he says that when I tell someone, it doesn't get done. Okay. But the funny part is that the amount of excitement that he gets to talking about the end result, the ideation, the amount of momentum that he gets from just having the back and forth in itself is worth it. And having that feedback of like, hey, Turab's doing this other today, and he did a lot of other stuff last week. Okay, maybe I should try to do something, right? Accountability. Or hey, Matt went to the gym every single day this week that he was supposed to go, and he ate enough to gain another 10 pounds in this month. I should probably go do that, right? Accountability, my friends. Find your tribe and try your very hardest to set goals for yourself. Any goal. If you don't have very many goals, choose a goal. I read a line in a book by King Solver, Barbara Kingsolver or something. The book's called Flight Behavior, but she said that kids are what happen to women that have dreams but don't have concrete plans. Women that have dreams but don't have concrete plans end up getting kids early. I think early age kids specifically was that. So that shit hits hard, especially if you're watching this and you have had kids early, right? It's better if you don't have any plans to make a plan. What's extra better is to think about what you want ideally out of life, how you want to feel, and then make the largest plan ever in trying to make that a reality. Because then all the little plans fit inside of it. It makes more sense. It's like building a building. You know, the bigger the building, you're gonna have more foundational supports. You're gonna have to figure out, parts of it that otherwise would not have to be figured out. That you could kind of build it from scratch and shitty materials, right? You can't afford to do that when you have a dream that's bigger. You realize that every little part of it plays into the structure, the soundness of the dream. So don't be a dreamer. Don't be a dreamer that doesn't have a concrete plan. Be the dreamer that has a plan to get to your dreams. You can't use certain words in life. And there's actually something that I took from Mr. Brian Tracy. Keep forgetting his last name. He's a big leadership coach. He's very good at what he does. Language really matters when it comes down to conveying these things to people, right? Your eyeballs. When you look at someone's eyeballs, you can tell how inspired they are by something, right? The energy that they walk with and they talk with. That shows you how much they're willing to put into that statement, how much they're willing to bet that it's going to work out. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, that try means not using the word try means that you are not allowed to fail. You just can't end on failure. Failure is a part of it, but you can't end there. I'm going to try to do that underpass project. Right? When I think back to all the things that I've started and never quite finished, I got a lot of regret there, guys, And I assume that if you're watching this video and made it to this point, you probably have some regret of some of the things that you've tried to do. What I realize every time I turn around and I look back at myself and I look back at the things that I've done, you gotta have some patience with yourself too. The accountability thing really is a way to fake it till you make it. Is to say to someone, I'm gonna do this damn thing. You gotta be careful about that too, by the way. If you're someone that just is woefully terrible at execution, if you go around telling people you're going to do something and don't do it, they're not going to believe you. You're going to lose that relationship. You're going to lose trust in that relationship, okay? So I think the first step actually is to acknowledge that you care about the relationship. The person that you're telling these things to, their opinion of you matters. If you tell a stranger that you're going to do something, I don't know, it just seems like, why would you care? If you tell your spouse you're going to do something, they're probably going to be very upset at you or call you out for when that thing doesn't happen, right? That's gonna be another data point for those arguments or something. Now, how much you care about the person that you are talking to about your goals will be the level of accountability that person is able to give you. If you don't care about who you are telling your goals to, they cannot hold you accountable to the level you need them to. It's just you don't have the emotional backing of that thing enough to actually to make yourself do it. So accountability matters. The people that are holding you accountable matter as much as the statements themselves. It must be written, it must be said out loud, and it must be written and said out loud and read and heard out loud by people who will hold you accountable. If you don't have that person in your life, find them. If you do have that person in your life, cherish them. Whoever holds you accountable, if it's your parents, they piss you off, whatever it is, cherish that. There's very few in society that will go out of their way to make their life less easy, to have a difficult conversation, to make your life better. Very few people. And so anytime I come across that, I'm like, that's my guy, that's my girl. They're holding me to the level that I need to be at. You don't have to do this stuff alone, guys. That's all I'm saying. There's no point in doing this stuff alone. A lot of it, you're probably just gonna have to sit in a room and just do the stuff. But like the whole thing, don't do it alone. It's just not fun. It's good to have someone around that like trusts you and that you trust them. At least someone. Ideally, multiple someones. And the really cool part about this accountability cycle is that once you are accountable, it's people around you and you yourself know that you are accountable, meaning that when you say something, you do it. At like 90% of the time, 80% of the time, 70% of the time, more than not. If people know that when you say something, you are more likely to do it than not do it, it's pretty good. The cool part about being that person is you then have the ability to bring strength to others by virtue of holding them accountable, because you know what it takes for you to do the things that you need to do, right? You know the level of involvement that you need to have in your own leadership in order to get yourself to execute at that level. Makes a big difference. But it's something that, you know, I think about regularly and something that hopefully helps you guys. I mean, do it with some gusto, you know? Do this life with some, not like anger or like immaturity, you know, but just do it with a sense of gusto, sense of like, let's go, let's do the thing. Let's view the ideal. Let's behold the ideal. When you can do that, man, it's almost like a spiritual boon to everyone that you're around. It's like, oh shit, okay, man. Let's be around this person that holds us accountable, that does the cool things, that has opportunities, that has money, that has people that care about him, that has something. Let's be around this person that has something. Let's not be around that person that has nothing. It's the difference. That's the difference. Stay accountable, guys. Say it out loud. To whoever is not only willing to listen, but willing to have a hard conversation with you when you don't make it happen. That is willing to make their time worse in order to make your life what you want it to be. And hopefully you can be that person for someone else. Makes a big difference. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you.